Good Monday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm the host for South Carolina Weather, Jesse Peterson. Let's go on ahead and talk about the weather for your Monday evening. Looking down near South Carolina right now, we can see that no precipitation is falling as of right now, so that is a great thing. If we also go on ahead and look over to our north, we do have some rain showers up here inside of Virginia, as well as some to the west inside of Mississippi that may or may not be hitting the ground. We don't know. I would have to go more in high resolution. But just looking at the East Coast in general, pretty quiet, except for those showers inside of Virginia and maybe some snow showers up there in Maine right now. But that is all for the East. If we go to the West, you can see we have, just absolute precipitation apocalypse. Rain in the lower elevations, snow in the higher elevations, ice in parts of the Rockies as well. Rain down there in California, rain and snow mix up here in the Pacific Northwest. Just rain, snow wherever you are, everywhere. So definitely are getting it over there. And then if we look at the central U.S. is kind of quiet. We do have maybe a couple of showers over there inside of Kansas, but that's all I'm really looking at right now. But other than that, that's all I got to show for the main radar right now. Obviously, there could be some more spots that we could talk about. But as of right now, that's all I'm seeing right now. Let's go ahead and look at our precipitation, our cloud cover. Sorry, our cloud cover. Cloud cover right now is looking pretty good. No clouds is really impeding us too badly. We do have some clouds up there just west of Columbia as well. So hopefully it's not too much. But definitely something that we might have to watch for, especially for that cloud cover going into tomorrow and Wednesday, as we start to see some more clouds push into the area. Not really making it cloudy, but definitely making it partly cloudy, maybe even mostly cloudy for some regions on that Tuesday and Wednesday. If we go on ahead and look at our main temperatures for right now, temperatures right now is around 61 in Columbia, around 61 in Augusta, 57 in Charleston, 57 in Myrtle Beach, 59 in Florence, 55 in Greenwood, and 57 in Greenville. I also just realized that it zoomed out by itself, so I'm going to have to fix that. But we'll talk about other areas around us. 57 in Savannah, 62 in Atlanta, 61 in Gainesville, 59 in Palm Coast, 61 in Jacksonville, 59 in Tallahassee, 68 in Orlando, 68 in Birmingham, 73 in Jackson, 70 in Greenville, 73 in Natchez, 70 in New Orleans, and 70 in Jackson, Tennessee, 61 in Charlotte, 59 in Fayetteville, 57 in Greenville, North Carolina, and 59 in Greensboro, North Carolina. We did have a couple of temperatures today that it did in fact did reach 90 inside of Texas today. So really interesting to see that. Also, just crazy to see that it's February and we're already getting 90-degree temperatures inside of Texas already. But speaking of those high temperatures, look at the boundary. Look, you can kind of like split Georgia in half, and you have warm air on the west, and then you have some cool air to the east, and that's why our minimum temperatures are going to be low. 48 Columbia, 47 in Sumter, 46 in Florence, 53 in Myrtle Beach, 54 in Charleston, 48 up there in the upstate. So, yes, we will have some more cool air tonight. Not as cool as we have been having it for mainly most of this winter, but definitely those temperatures are going to be pretty low from what we know. And I have a gut feeling that we may have like one or two more cold blasts coming from the west and bring us some cool temperatures. But I really do think that we're going to start seeing those spring like temperatures and we're going to stop being below freezing. Well, not stop being below freezing. Of course, there could always be a chance that we could be below freezing. But I don't know. I just have this feeling that we're going to start seeing these spring temperatures. We're going to start regularly seeing temperatures in the 80s, the 70s as well. The 70s going into the 80s, I feel like that we're about to get into that time period. That's why, as well, we have wind gusts as well. Wind gusts will also be around 25 miles per hour near Florence, 22 near Myrtle Beach, 22 near Charleston, 20 near Sumter 16 near Columbia, and 23-24 up there in the upstate as well. So not only do I think that we will start to see those high temperatures start to come back, but there's also potential for some breezy conditions tomorrow as well. Precipitation for the next 24 hours, we will have some rain up there inside the upstate and even near the Rock Hill area. So if you know anybody inside those regions, let them know and let them prepare accordingly. If you are inside this region and you're watching this, definitely some rain possible. And here's the radar that shows it. Here we are, around 14 hours out from around 6 o'clock. So around 14 hours out from 6 o'clock, we push this forward. And as you can see, those showers start to push in through this entire region right here. And it can get widespread real quick, definitely for sure. So make sure that if you are up there inside the northern South Carolina regions, make sure that you are paying attention for this rain tomorrow, because this rain can get maybe even as far south as Western Columbia. So if you're inside the upstate or the Midlands at all, definitely watch for some showers tomorrow. Here is our Storm Prediction Center outlook for tonight. We do have a marginal risk of severe weather for Detroit, Indianapolis, Columbus, Toledo, Ohio, and Cincinnati, Ohio. And Louisville, Kentucky is in there as well, as we do have no chance for a tornado, and same with damaging winds, but mainly for hail. Definitely some hail is possible for this region right here. And for sure, you definitely need to be watching out if you are inside of those regions. If you know anybody inside those regions, let them know that tonight could see some potential hail, some 1-inch in diameter hail, some quarter-sized hail, as we like to call it in the weather community, some quarter-sized hail. If we go to tomorrow's outlook, here is the big day that we're watching for: Chicago, Detroit, Indianapolis, St. Louis, Toledo, all inside of the slight risk of severe weather, mainly for hail and damaging winds, for sure. Hail is going to be the biggest threat, with a 15% hatch risk for damaging hail for Chicago, Toledo, Fort Wayne, Fort Wayne, Indiana. I said Indianapolis. Aurora, Illinois, and Naperville, Illinois. So definitely for sure you can watch out for some tennis ball sized hail, maybe even bigger than tennis ball sized hail. So again, if you know anybody inside the Great Lakes region, let them know. If you see anybody inside of this green region or this yellow region, let them know and be like, hey, it's time to watch tomorrow for weather, because it could get nasty real quick. And I would not be surprised one bit if this turned into an enhanced, which is a level 3 out of 5. I've been talking about that for a while now. Would not be surprised at all if this did go to an enhanced risk of severe weather. So definitely do need to watch for that. We also do have a wind risk as well, 15% chance of damaging winds in the yellow, a 5% chance of damaging winds in the brown, and then we do have a 2% chance of tornadoes in the green, and a 5% chance of damaging tornadoes in the brown. Not really too much damaging, but definitely some scattered tornadoes are possible tomorrow. One could be even strong. For Fort Wayne, Joliet, Illinois, South Bend, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, and Hammond, Indiana. So, for sure, if you know anybody from northern Arkansas all the way east into Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, all the way up north into kind of like central Michigan, let them know and be like, it's time to be ready for tomorrow. We do have a day 3 outlook, but it's not really anything, just a TSTM. Definitely some gusty winds is possible with the cold front while it's passing through, but that cold front will pass us. So I do expect that maybe we might see a day 3 TSTM for tomorrow. Not really too much for bad thunderstorms, but really just for thunderstorms in general. I think that thunderstorms are definitely possible on Thursday and Friday, maybe even Saturday. So just watching out for that as well. Nothing really for day 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. Here's our excessive rainfall monitor. We have no excessive rainfall as possible for today or for tonight. For tomorrow, we do have that marginal risk of excessive rainfall. Not only do they have to watch out for severe weather if you're up there inside the Great Lakes region, but you also have to watch out for tornadoes, obviously, for flash flooding as well. Flash flooding for sure is definitely could be a threat tomorrow. And then look at this day 3. I mean, everyone inside the northeastern U.S. and going all the way down to the Appalachian Mountains and the Pacific Northwest coast is all under the gun for seeing potential flash flooding on Wednesday. So overall, flash flooding, tornadoes, wind, hail is possible for the U.S. for tomorrow, going into Wednesday as well. But luckily, none of that is going to hit us. We are looking to be pretty good right now, even though there is a chance that we could see some high precipitation going into like later in the week, as well as maybe even early next week. I'm watching for that, as well as the Storm Prediction Center did put us under a moderate risk for rainfall, but it's just the risk of heavy precipitation. I'll show that in a second. But let's go ahead and move on. Here's the GFS model. So we're going to go ahead and just scroll past. There's the system that's going to pass us. Oh, there goes that rain that's probably going to hit us probably tomorrow inside the northern South Carolina regions. So, but then here comes this severe weather event. Probably just going to bring us some showers, and that's all I'm really looking at for that. And then we have this huge rain event that's probably going to bring some very heavy precipitation. Definitely from March 1st going to the 2nd, but once we get to around March the 5th, this is the time that I really want to watch, because you see here as we get to March the 5th, look at that precipitation. I mean, that is heavy precipitation, heavy rain. Severe weather, I mean, yeah, severe weather could definitely be possible in some regions, but I think for us, our main concern is going to be the rain. And definitely the slight risk that they put out is definitely needed as we go on ahead and move this forward again, and we get hit with another round right after that. So from March the 5th all the way through the 7th, definitely going to have to watch for that rain. And then we have another just strong round come and hit us on March the 8th. So we're going to be inside this pattern where it's going to be raining a lot. So definitely need to watch out for that. And then we get this bit of a quiet period around March the 11th, but then nope, this is 300 hours out, so this could disappear, but for sure we're gonna have to watch this this pattern, this flooding pattern. And if we go all the way out past all of the systems that hit us and we go to the total accumulated precipitation, I mean, the GFS is thinking a good 6 to 7, maybe even 8 inches of rain could fall throughout Columbia and the upstate of South Carolina as well. But again, this is 378 hours out, so obviously, this could change, and obviously this is very spread out. I mean, this is the next I think 18 to 20 days, so definitely should not be freaking out saying, oh, well, is it going to rain in like a short period of time to where flash flooding is going to be dangerous? No, not necessarily, but for sure it's something that we're going to have to watch for. And even for the coastal regions as well, near Charleston and Myrtle Beach, around 4 to 5 inches of rain. It looks like the majority of the rain is going to fall in the upstate, though. So that is that, and let's go on ahead and show off the next thing that I want to show, which is something that I've never shown on here before, but it is kind of like a new model that I kind of look at. And as you can see the thing that we just showed. There goes if you see my cursor, if you're looking at the screen, you can see that we do have a little hail risk that I talked about earlier for mainly Detroit, Indianapolis, and Ohio. If you saw that earlier, but here it is right here. But here is different models and what they think the percentage of that severe weather that it has. So you have the CIPS, which is the first model, which is on the top. Here's tornadoes for the CIPS. There's hail, and then there's damaging winds. Here is the CSU. This comes from Colorado State University. This shows us pretty much the same thing. It has the tornado, hail, and the damaging winds, and the same thing here as well with tornadoes, hail, and damaging winds. For sure, gonna have to watch this, even though I don't think there's gonna be too much of a rain risk. I think that the SPC is probably right with this one because I don't think that there's really any chance for any type of damaging winds, but it shows it. So, and then we also do have a hail risk as well. That pretty much covers the same areas that the SPC has, but covers a lot more region. I don't think that this is necessarily correct though, because this covers a lot, like a lot more than I think what is needed. So for sure, I think that this is a bit overhyping it a little bit. But again, it's a computer model, so a computer model is gonna do kind of like an AI, for an example. Computer model is gonna do what the computer model is gonna do, and humans, we kind of have a bit more insight and we can actually read stuff a lot better. Now, in the future, I don't know where they might go with this. In the future, they might be like, AI might be better than we are. With how the world's turning out right now, AI will probably be the one generating forecasts. Humans may not even be the one generating forecasts, but I'm going off on a rant. So let's continue on with what I was talking about. So here's the day one. And for sure, definitely a chance for hail. Once we go to the day two, this is the day that I really wanted to show because, as you can see, we have obviously that 15% hatch risk of damaging hail for up there in Michigan, as well as a 15% chance of damaging winds, and that 5% chance of tornadoes. So they both have different stories. So the CIPS thinks that only there should be a 2% risk of tornadoes, and really only for eastern Missouri. For hail, they think that there should be a 30% chance of hail for Missouri. And for wind, they think that there should be a 30% chance of damaging winds for mainly, seems to be southwestern Missouri. So a lot of inconsistencies. But then once you go to the CSU, which is Colorado State University's model, they show, just absolutely just a very, very hyped up day. Now, will it be overhyped? We'll see tomorrow, but definitely for sure gonna have to watch this closely. They have a 10% risk of a tornado for southern Indiana, Kentucky, and southwestern Ohio. And then they have a 30% chance of seeing damaging hail, which is not on the board yet, which again, I said that I would not be surprised if there was a 30% chance of damaging hail. And then you have the wind as well. 30% chance of damaging winds. So they're showing an enhanced for not only for just hail and wind, but tornadoes as well. Well, the SPC only has a slight risk. But the thing is, though, with the SPC, is that the SPC is very conservative when it comes to their things. They don't update it to like almost the last update before the actual situation. Before they actually put out an enhanced risk. So if they do put out an enhanced risk, I think even if it does not come tomorrow morning, we still have a chance to see it tomorrow afternoon when they update it again. So I definitely do think that there's a good chance that we could see an enhanced risk of severe weather for that region. But once we go to our day 3 to day 8, the SPC thinks that nothing's going to happen. But, according to CSU thinks that we could have some slight severe weather. And then when it comes to the CIPS actually just shows just like a slight risk of severe weather, but instead for like Maryland and close to New York City as well. So I don't know too much about that. Day 4, nothing really. Day 5, nothing really. Day 6, nothing really. Day 7, we're watching day 7 and day 8 because there's a good chance that some severe weather could occur for, I think that is March the 4th and March the 5th. So we're just watching for those days. But that's going to be about it. So thank y'all so much for watching this little rant at the end that I did about this. We will be showing these from now on, not just the SBC. But thank y'all so much for watching. I'll see y'all for the next forecast.